Hello, friends, and welcome to Rise Up in Real Estate, where we are on a quest. We are looking for the extra in the ordinary. And I'm Tad Fulford, and I will be your host on this journey where we will take an honest look at what makes ordinary people extraordinary. Exactly how can we be extra in our personal and our professional lives? In this season of the Rise Up in Real Estate adventure, there will be a monthly rhythm, meaning each month we will have 4 unique episodes. In one episode, we'll tackle a pressing current real estate industry thought. In another, we will chat with a local difference maker in the real estate space. For our 3rd episode, we will host a respected national thought leader. And finally, we will have a 4th bonus and surprise episode. And in each episode, we will be digging into not only what those people think, but who those people are. Along the way, it's my hope that you'll laugh some, you'll be challenged some, you will get inspired some, and if we are lucky, maybe even figure out a way or two you can rise up in your own life and be the best human that you can be. So the challenge is, let's all rise up. Hello and welcome to Rise Up in Real Estate, and I will be your host, Tad Fulford, for this adventure. And I want to tell you today what in the world Rise Up in Real Estate is all about. I just did a little bit of research and I found out that currently there are 850,000 podcasts. And in the next few minutes, I want to answer the question for you. Why should you listen to this one out of those 850,000? And again, my name is Tad, and I want to tell you a little bit about me so that you can understand who will be taking you on this journey. So my life started back in 1969 in Alabama. It sounds like the terrible beginning of a terrible novel, but I was born of some folks that were hardworking and very ambitious, and through the years ended up living in North Carolina, and then finally to my final destination in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. My work history here has been, I went to North Carolina State University, graduated with a math degree, which is why I knew there were 850,000 real estate episodes, podcast episodes out there. When I graduated, though, from college, and all this will come together as you start listening to me in this podcast, graduated from college, recognized that I didn't want to be a school teacher, and so I actually went back to seminary, to Southeastern Theological Seminary, Baptist Theological Seminary, and I was about 4 or 5 classes away from getting my master's in divinity, basically because I wanted to learn a bit about the Bible. I just wanted to learn about what happened in that story. Even though I was from the Bible Belt, I never grew up in church, I didn't know much about it. And so I wanted to find out what that story was, but 4 or 5 classes left, I realized, hey, I'm not going to end up being a youth pastor. I'm not going to be the pastor of a church. That's not my direction. So I actually quit school at a master's level, with that close to having my master's degree, and did something. I remember having a conversation with my mom, and this is exactly one of the reasons I'm doing this podcast, having a conversation with my mom one day, and she said to me, because I was encouraging her to pursue her dreams. She'd had a rough marriage and to my dad and just was kind of aimless. And I told her one day, I said, Mom, you need to go do what you want to do. And she looked me straight in the eye and she said, well, son, that's not what you're doing. I was like, well, there's my answer. I need to go do what I want to do. So I actually became a PGA golf professional in the Carolinas section of the PGA of America, was a golf professional for 10 years, worked in some high-end private country clubs, which is where I got my love for customer service and customer experience. After that, I was going through my own personal marriage situations, moving to a different market. I decided to change professions, got into real estate, and that is where that was 22 years ago now, and that is what I've done for the last 22 years. So Rise Up in Real Estate, why should you listen to that? Well, the mission of this podcast, the mission of this trip, of course, it's related. It is revolving around the real estate space, but in America, most things do, as you will find out through this podcast. Why do I want to do a podcast called Rise Up in Real Estate? Well, real estate's the foundation, but the real reason that we're doing it is because my personal mission, my professional and personal mission in life is to help everyone live an abundant life. I believe everybody has a purpose. I believe everybody's been given gifts, been given talents, has been through experiences, have learned things through school and through experiences to make them into the person that they are, and they are actually trying to pursue. They go through those things in order to be able to meet a certain portion of the population to help. Like I've been through certain things in my life that help me help others. And that's the reason for this podcast. The main reason is I'm hoping that through my guests and through the experiences on this podcast that you'll be able to connect to some fantastic people across the world and be able to have great relationships going forward. This is a real estate show, but my goal every day is just to find the extra in the extraordinary. Try to find out what really makes people tick. I've got some guests that I've already done episodes with, and I'm just trying to get to the root of who they are and why they do the things that they do. What have they learned in their life experience that can help us learn in ours? So some of the hashtags that I love, and you'll understand these as you listen to the way that I describe this podcast. Hashtag more than houses. I'm obviously a real estate professional, but for me, it's more than the house sale. Hashtag good human. That's what we're looking for. And everyone is one at the core. We find the good in those people and we put it on a pedestal and we talk about it. Hashtag abundant life. I just mentioned to you that's my personal and professional mission. Try to live the life that we were destined to live. Do the jobs the way that we need to do them so that we have the money and time to live the life that we want to live. And finally, hashtag rise up. How can we rise above the things that we need to be rising above? Whether it's the media attitude, the common conversation, the ordinary. How can we rise above those things? I'll be asking every one of my guests, what do you do day to day to help you rise up? And you'll be excited and surprised by the answer. So as you listen to Rise Up in Real Estate, this season 1 will have 4 different episodes, 1 episode per week, and we'll have this rhythm through this first season. One of the episodes will be an interview with an agent, a real estate agent in our marketplace in coastal South Carolina. One will be an interview with a national and maybe worldwide thought leader in our space or in a entrepreneur space. Third week, we'll talk about a topic. We will be talking about something pressing, something that, right, like if it were today, it would be the interest rates. We will just be diving into what's going on with those, how it affects our business day to day, and how it affects our attitudes day to day. And then the fourth and final episode I'm very excited about. It's going to be a call-in episode that will talk about probably some pressing issues, but I'll have the ability through our equipment to have live call-ins. We'll go live on social media and have people pick up the phone and call in, and we'll have discussions live for the episodes in the week 4. The episodes will be between 25, 30 minutes long, unless it's a fantastic one, then I'll divide it up because I know your attention span is like mine. You will want to keep it to that rate. So anyway, I hope that out of the 850,000 podcasts that are out there right now, you will choose Rise Up in Real Estate and spend a little bit of time with us. Give us a shot. I would encourage you to follow us and to tune in to episode. We're having the launch coming up really soon. And we look forward to your participation in these things. And of course, through the show notes and through comments and through my connections on social media and other outlets, I encourage your feedback. I encourage your input because, by the way, if we can all rise up together, it will help everyone around. So thank you for listening to this, and I hope that you enjoy Rise Up in Real Estate. Well, hey, that's a wrap, folks. Thank you so much for listening to Rise Up in Real Estate. If you liked hanging out with us today, please find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Rise Up in Real Estate. Also, follow us right now on your favorite podcast host to hear more episodes. We really appreciate you spending some of your time with us. And until next time, let's do each other a favor and all help each other rise up.